elemental monkeys are garbage. This is what we hear the most about the elemental monkeys from Unova, Simiseage, Simisear, and Simipour. Why are they so hated, and possibly the most hated Pokemon trio? Does this hate make any sense? Maybe. The problem is other thing, wasted potential. I'm gonna prove it to you with the redesigns of their evolutions and a brand new trio. Yeah baby, reject to humanity, return to monkey. Okay, but let's be fair, I think people just don't really care about them. And what I've seen my channel and Reddit posts basically show that people are indifferent of them, because they're just monkeys, you know? I know they are inspired by the no evil monkeys. Speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil. And they have the official art that is similar to that. In their names, Sage rhyming with seer, with hear, and poor, poor just don't have anything for some reason. Anyway, too much yapping, the point is that design are just modes, nothing unique, and that reflects about their concepts beyond this. Me and the members been discussing a lot about how we're gonna rework the monkeys concept, so they voted for a good idea. Or if they were inspired by school archetypes, sounds promising. So let's start reworking the evolutions. First with Simisage. To be fair, I like the monkeys. I even have a type on Sage. Unfortunately, it's a bit tired.
Estoy cansadito, mestre.
So for Simisage, I think this one is the most okay of them. So I wanted to keep the aesthetic and those Japanese cool troublemakers like Ijosuke from JoJo. I don't really know how they're called. Or, I don't know, Elvis? So yeah, my concept for the evolution that I would pick some details from different monkey species. And to be fair, I think the baboon aesthetic would fit a lot with it, don't you think? After all, I've made the white fur to be a bit more like a jacket to match with the archetype. So yeah, this is our Simisage. Or not so much. And I think it should give you just secondary type, but this type doesn't need to be so literal. In this case, it's that because it's against, lacks crafting. So to be fair, I think since the design was already good enough, I didn't have much to change, so I hope you like. Oh, and so many people complain about their shinies, I intended to make them more undiceable. Better now? Let's address the elephant in the room. Simisear. The Pokemon that no one voted as their favorite in that famous survey. But honestly, I kinda like it. But people mention about the bad Simisear, which I wasn't aware until now, so when I first saw it, oh my god, this is a perfection. I tried to make my own inspired by that fat monkey. I guess it's a macaque. And its archetype could be the nerd. You can tell by the actually in the little tooth. But also it had neck because it is a literal head, you know? And that's why I made a fire that reminds me of overalls United States rednecks usually wear. At least in some movies I've watched. I don't know. I'm not from USA, I'm Brazilian, so sorry if I'm saying something wrong. But enough yapping. This is our Simisear. You work it. It's a chubby happy boy. The typing? I guess he's just a normal guy, so why not fire normal? My original plan was to make it fighting to match with the others of the trio, but I have plans for fighting type, wait for it. And come on, this will never exist, so let's have some fun. Just like I did when I make this shiny, hell yeah. Simipour time, obviously I would make it to represent the hippies. I mean, it already looks like a hippie, so my only work was to exaggerate it. And for it, I made it look inspired by an orangutan, since they have those shaman vibes, you know? It is also inspired by those annoying good vibes astrology dudes, saying things about energy, chord theory, the heart of the universe, and other BS. Seriously, I simply can't take it. But I decided to make my Simipour just peace and love. Look at the pose, with his big cloak, of fur like a shaman. But here is our Simisear. Yeah, I refuse to name it Simipour, since they just missed to call it Simisear to reference C, and also to match with the other S, which always made me mad, cause the other had S, but this one had an original P. Anyway, I'm guessing warp psychic type is pretty obvious. Be careful, or it will make your astral map without your consent. Just kidding. Let's just see this shiny and go for the next. So as I said, this video was entirely made with members' help. Even more for this trio, about a neutral triangle, fairy, steel and fighting. But before, let me thank the members that helps a lot to make the channel still working. The biggest special thanks for the legendary member Baltai Bennett and Pai Money, A big special thanks for the mythical member Prowl, and special thanks to all the members so far. That said, I will start with the fire type, which will represent the beauty popular girl, those vibes of Pewless or Mean Girls. As a good fire type, it will be very pink, of course. On Wednesday, we wear pink. In a super sassy pose because it matches a lot with the rich girl vibe. Think Arceus, in my school days I never met one of those witches, if you know what I mean. Revolution will keep this vibe, but now it's wearing those coats that models use, you know? Okay, Barbie, I don't know, something like this. Oh, and the monkey species was a lemur, with that pompon's tail. And bonobos, because they're matriarchs. And yeah, much sassier pose this time, but to be honest, this was the most polished design I've made to this video. There they are, unsassy and semi-sassy. These were the best words I thought that start with an S. The PM is pure fairy, and the Simi is fairy ice. Why ice? Well, as I said, the secondary type is not so literal. They are just the vibe of the design, you know? In this case, she's a mean girl, and even knowing that she's a success in Pokemon Forest, she's still very cold with her fans and mates. And that's the shiny. What do you think? Metal Monkey. For this one, I couldn't avoid to make it a metalhead with a bit of punk aesthetic. In the anime inspiration, one of those aggressive monkeys, and let's be honest, that real matches a lot with steel type. And not gonna lie, lately I've been hearing a lot of metal and rock in general. And gosh, they hit so hard now. System of a Down grows inside me every time I hear it. La 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 la. Sorry for that. But seriously, it's inevitable for me to make this metalhead pen with literal spikes on the head with the keys pen pose. And for the Evo, I made it even more literal, a punk rock fan with a glam rock style, and a tail that it can use as a guitar, or even to mention the goth boots and the style on the nose to reference the mandrill nose. So here he is, Pan Steel and Sim Steel. I know. I guess the type is extremely obvious as well. Steel and steel rock. Even not having much rock type elements, the rocky music vibe is undeniable. The shiny is just like this. What do you think? You finished the trail? We must make a fighting type, but before, if you're watching this far, comment your favorite redesign I've made of the original trail and tell me why. Let's try to hit 300 likes to make it part 2, can we do it? Anyway, our fighting type will be a quarterback, of course, those American football players with the heavy clothing. And also some boxer gloves. The real primate will be a gorilla, of course. Wait for the evolution. Not hot tail and the head thing is like the American football ball. Because yeah, I wanted to be real literal in this one. Like if the pose was enough. Ugh, don't say. Speaking of that, for the evolution, I used Charger Chuck, like Mario enemy, to make the pose of my gorilla. Donkey Kong is obviously inspiration as well, with that goofy way and his smiling face, because I wanted them to be like gentle giants, one of my favorite archetypes. The sports guy is the school role of this one, if it's not clear enough. Well, this is of Pale Slam and Simi Slam, from Slam, of course. They fighting type and fighting ground, because they play on the dirt, and they usually get dirty. Dirty? I don't know how to say. Can you handle their handy long rushes? The shiny is just that. Did you like it? Well, if you like the monkeys, maybe you could also like this video where I make new variants and conversions inspired by the effective Pokemon toys. That's it. Bye bye, Huggies.